back in 2007, we tried to reach out to Oprah because we discovered rape trees on the border. And rape trees are these pretty awful things that when they bring groups across the border, um, they're brought over by coyotes. The Border Patrol calls them scouts. The cartels call them guidos for guides. And what they'll do is they'll take these women and they'll take them under a tree and they'll rape them. And then to further humiliate them, because they're screaming, they're yelling, and their family or their friends can hear them, And it's a lesson to the rest of the group. You follow a line, or this will happen to you. And then they further humiliate the women by making them hang their panties and their bras up in the tree. Those are called rape trees. When we first came out with that, it's pretty disturbing. I sat with two rape victims on the border. Forever changed my life. I hope no one ever has to go through that. We thought if we went out to Oprah Winfrey, that'd be great, that she could do an episode on it. And instead, we got a cease and desist letter from her attorney. Was just horrible. It just shows you what a sham it is. Here's Oprah Winfrey, women's rights, save the children. Really? Well, you had an opportunity to do that, but God forbid the United States of America should come together because they want to stop the raping of women and children on the border. And here's how bad it's gotten. That was almost 20 years ago, Jamie. 2 years ago, it's down on the border when Tom Home and I were working together. We'd never seen, in my 18 years at the time on the border, I'd never seen as many soldiers, trained soldiers, coming across the border disguised in amongst this mass of humanity with all these civilians. And when we interrogate these folks, most of them, except for some very young guys with a lot of attitude, some young gangbangers that we got from Honduras, they admitted to being soldiers. Yeah, see, so no soldados. But the other ones, the professionals, when you drill into them and you interrogate them, no, I was never a soldier. I never did that. No. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I saw the way you humped your rock. I saw the way you came through the barbed wire. You've got training. You were a soldier. What was your MOS? Okay, I used to be a combat engineer, but now I just want to be a chef in America. Those numbers that were coming through were frightening. While we're seeing that go on, I think Tom and I picked up 2 or 3 dead bodies that time. By the way, I'm tired of picking up bodies in my friends' ranches here in Texas, and not just on the border, 73 miles north of the border. It's happening almost every day down here. Tom and I come across an agent. We're talking to him, and we went to investigate further that a couple days before we had been down there's a couple that came up from Africa, I believe Angola, and they had a 15-month-old baby girl with them. And the dad goes across the river. This is near Eagle Pass. He's got the baby, carrying him on his shoulders. Mom's with him. Well, the currents can be tricky, and they change every day. These guys couldn't swim. Current hits them. They go down. Dad drowns. Mom starts to drown. Baby's drowning. Border Patrol comes in. They save the mom. They save the baby. She's not breathing. They get her breathing. They life fight them both to the hospital where the baby dies. 4 physicians examine this baby, and she had been raped and sodomized so many times that there was no longer any division between her anus and her vagina. She's 15 months old. They're thinking maybe between 12 and 15 grown men had raped this child. In the investigation into the group that they had come across with, the members of the group explained that this is part of the payment that this couple had to make to the cartels to let them come over the river. Imagine seeing the river, thinking you're there, there's America. Oh, wait, but let us do this to your child before we let you cross. That's what happened. 18 years on the board at that time, that was probably one of the top 2 most evil things I'd seen happen down there. What was more evil was talking to the medical examiner, because I wanted to go in and do a full story on this. And this medical examiner said, Chris, I can't talk to you about that child because I'm under a gag order from way up. I can't talk to you what happened to that baby. But I can talk to you about the other 3 children that I have on racks in my morgue right now, if you'd care to do stories on them. Jamie, how evil does it have to be that you're in government, you know this is going on every day, and you give an order to a doctor not to talk about this because you know if it came out, the American people would rise up to protect children and would demand immediately for a change of border policies and demand a secure border. This kind of stuff is going on in this border every single day.
This is very heart wrenching, heart just breaking stuff. We're dealing really, I think, with Satan and Satanism, and the left and the Democrats definitely are affiliated with this evil force, in my view.